Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another GTA life discussion video. I don't know why I'm doing these, but I've just been enjoying doing these the past few days, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just do another one because I'm not going to be able to do this tomorrow. Anyway, today's discussion I wanted to talk about for a few minutes here is about priorities, I guess you could say. And like, should you focus on working and a regular type of career path, or should you focus on entrepreneurship and trying to start your own business? And let me just say this before we dive into this here. Let me just say, I don't have any authority on this, okay? I am just someone who has some experience in this kind of topic a little bit, but like, I don't have the answer. It's more just kind of getting you to think a little bit. And yeah, so just with that out of the way, let me explain this a little bit more, okay? A lot of people, you know, out of high school or even in high school, they're like they're getting ready for college, and then they go to college and then get a regular job and that kind of thing. And you know, if that's something that you want to do, great, go for it. I mean, personally, it's my belief, which I mean I could be wrong, but this is just what I think. I believe that if you are planning to go to college for something that doesn't require a college degree, like that, for a job that doesn't even require it, I personally don't think that's a great idea, just because you don't need it. I mean, maybe it could increase your chances, which may be worth it, depending on like what kind of industry you're getting into specifically. But especially if you just don't even have a clue as to what you want to go into, and you're just like fresh out of high school, or you're just just starting college, and you're just like, you know what, I want to go for whatever it may be, and it doesn't, like, the job that you're wanting to get doesn't require college education. That's not really something that I would go for. I wouldn't necessarily go for it. That's why I didn't go to college, and instead I'm kind of just working on the side. I got a part-time job, and it's great. I enjoy working there, but I don't work there that much. I only work, as of right now, I actually hardly work at all. I work 2 days a week for like 2 half shifts. I'm working like a part of a part-time job. Like, I'm pretty sure a part-time job is considered like 20 hours or something along those lines. I work for only like 10 hours a week right now, which is barely nothing, but it kind of gets back into the whole idea of this video, which is the priorities of things. Currently, for me, just getting as much money as I can right now isn't a priority, because I have the privilege, and I'm very grateful for this. I'm able to live at home still. I'm still at home, and I'm spending this time to try different things, see more of like what I like, and kind of like spend my time experimenting with different things, and not just fully just like working as much as possible, which I think, for me at least, is the way to go. Because what I'm doing right now, like the main thing that I've been focusing on, is game development and YouTube. And it's like, yeah, you can still do these things while like working a whole bunch, but then it's just the quality of the work that you do is significantly worse, I believe, at least, depending on how you do it. And it kind of just takes the fun out of it a little bit, I feel like. But outside of just like having fun with it, it's just my priorities are more focused on learning as much as I can, really, and working enough to be able to sustain my current lifestyle, which isn't crazy at all. I don't really go out. I don't really do much. I don't really do anything like outside of my house that often. Like, I go to the gym, I work a couple days a week for 10 hours or something, and that's usually about it. And then I just like work on things at home, and I spend a lot of time with family as well, which has been really nice. Just like being able to spend time with family, I think, is something that I very much value, and that's another just big perk. Like, I have a good relationship with my family, and it's great. I'm happy and grateful for that. Yeah, that little bit of context there kind of brings up the idea more, which is like, okay, do you want to prioritize, like, while you're still like fresh out of high school, maybe if you decide not to go to college, do you just try to work a whole bunch and just like try to get some money and like kind of like get started with like life more? Or do you focus on, hey, I have this opportunity to like start like a potential business and do something valuable there while also learning a lot and still being able to like sustain my lifestyle. And that's kind of like what I've been going with. So that comes back to the question of like, is it better to just work right now, get into a career, all this type of stuff, kind of like, you know, the more traditional path, or is it better to like take time, go a little bit slower, learn different things, try different things, try to like start like doing entrepreneurship if that's something you're interested in, that kind of idea there. Is that the better way to go? And I think honestly it just depends on the type of person you are, but it's something I want you to think about, especially if you're in a similar situation to me. Like maybe you don't know what you want to go to college for, and maybe you're just going because like your parents want you to go. And I mean, hey, I'm not saying 100% do this or don't do this. I'm just saying think about, like, I'm just trying to give you something to think about here, you know? And I think that's the most important thing, just thinking about different things to do with your life, not just letting your life be like on autopilot, figuring out like what the priorities you want, what are the goals that you have. And like for me, I want to be able to just create, and whether that be through YouTube or, you know, like game development, which I'm doing, like that kind of stuff, I think is very important. Just being able to do what you feel like you are best suited to. And I feel like I'm really suited to just learning, creating, and then sharing with others. And that's basically what I'm doing right now, you know, so it works out well. With that being said, I'm really curious to hear what you think about this. Like, if you, maybe you're older than me, maybe you're younger than me, regardless, I kind of want to hear just what you would do in this circumstance. I mean, you might just be someone who maybe you're out of high school, maybe you're in college and you're there for something that you really are passionate about and want to do. That's great. Keep doing that, you know, like why not do that? And if it leads to you doing something that you feel like gives you like a purpose and that you're passionate about, I think that's what you should really like work towards. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with through, like I was saying, like YouTube and game development and just like creating and sharing and learning and all this stuff. I think if you're able to just combine the things that you are passionate about into just something that you could turn into a job perhaps, then like through entrepreneurship and like, you know, starting your own type of business, if that's something you're interested in, I think that can be really interesting and really get you to like a better life. And, you know, the way I think about it is, if I just spend most of my time, or like the best hours of my day, working on the most important things that get me closer to my goals, that are genuinely important to me, and that I think could have an impact on people, and I feel like brings me like a greater purpose in my life, then I feel like it's important to focus on those things and then minimize needing to do the other things, like maybe working just a regular job, and then figure out a way to make money through things that you're passionate about and bring you that purpose, like I was saying. And I think that's currently my plan. The big downside to this is you have no clue if it will work. Absolutely no idea. You just have to put faith into it, that you can stick to it, that you have self-discipline, that you know yourself well enough to where you're not just gonna play video games all day and like not work on what you actually like want to work on and like work towards. Like, you know, you gotta know yourself well enough, and I feel like that's something that even I struggle with. But just if you're able to like find a way to make the thing that you're passionate about and that you feel brings purpose into your life, if you're able to turn that into a way of making money and a job, I guess you could say, then I think maybe that's definitely the way to go. But maybe the thing that you're passionate about and very interested in, that kind of thing, is something completely different. Maybe you are very passionate about like helping people. If that's the case and you want to like help people, whether it's like being a doctor or something, go do that. Don't listen to what anybody else says. Don't worry about the money necessarily. Yes, you need to be able to sustain yourself, but don't have that be the main thing. I mean, that's just, like I said, I don't really have much authority on this. You know, I'm just a random guy, you know, and I'm just sharing a little bit of my experience here and my thoughts on this. And hopefully maybe you think about this a little bit differently kind of like how I've been thinking about it, and you're like, hey, maybe I should focus more on just like working and like getting more money so I can maybe like change my current situation of life, like whatever your situation might be. Maybe you don't like it and you want to change it, and I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, bro, go for it. Like I think that's great. I think really focusing on the things that are important to you and just going all in on that is really where the priority lies. It's not necessarily just, should I prioritize a career, or should I prioritize like entrepreneurship? It's more just, what is it that you feel would bring you the most like fulfillment and purpose out of life? What is it that you feel could make an impact on others, maybe, or honestly whatever it might be? I think it's good to just take some time, maybe today, like just sit down and just write out, thinking about different things, like, hey, you know what, I think, I've been focusing a lot on this. I've been working a whole bunch lately. I'm working full-time, 40 hours a week, maybe more, but it's not really bringing me that fulfillment and that passion that I really want, that purpose. Then maybe, hey, still worth that same amount, but instead of like maybe sacrifice a little bit of time like relaxing, and instead of watching a little bit more TV or playing extra games, which I mean I still think is fine. I'm not saying don't ever do that stuff. I'm just saying maybe if you get home after a long day and you like watch TV and play games or something like that for like a few hours after you get home before you go to bed, and then go to work the next day. Instead of that, what if just you spend like 1 hour? It's like as soon as you get home from work, like you just like sit down, relax, take a breath, like chill out for a minute. But then it's like, okay, now you're good to just, okay, what is it that I want to like work on? It's like the one thing that can get me closer to my goals, or that can get me closer to the thing I'm more passionate about. And like, say for example, you want to do YouTube, you want to make YouTube videos, and you want to just impact people through the power of content creation on here, which is something that can be done and you see all the time, and there's just so much influence and impact that you can have on people's lives, which is just so cool. But also, I mean, also could go the other way, but that's another video. But it's like, say that's something that you really want to be a part of, like you really want to impact people's lives in some way. The way that you want to do that is like through YouTube, just by making videos that are entertaining, that make people just a little bit happier that day. Then I think, man, like just spending like an extra hour or 30 minutes or whatever it may be, like after work, even if it was like a long day or something, if you're able to, or maybe even before work, just spend a little bit extra time just like recording the video or editing the video, whatever it may be, and just be like just get that extra fulfillment and like that purpose and like more of that meaning, and it's like, it doesn't have to be necessarily one or the other. Sure, you can focus a lot more on one compared to the other and have that may be like your main priority, but like even if you're not in a situation like I am necessarily, where like I have the opportunity to just choose, like, okay, do I want to work all the time, or do I want to spend more time trying to figure out what I enjoy, learning new things, sharing those things, like that kind of thing, like what I was talking about earlier and what I'm doing currently. Like I have the opportunity to be like, you know what, I don't need to make a whole bunch of money to like pay for like rent every single month. I don't have to pay for like 50 different insurances or whatever it may be. Like I have some bills, of course, but that's what the little bit of time that I spend working each week goes to paying that off, and then I still have money left over for whatever else that I want to spend it on. Honestly, that's really just what I wanted to talk about for this video. Just kind of bring up this idea of like, what is it that you want to prioritize, and why do you want to prioritize specific things? And yeah, that's really about it. And just knowing that not everything is mutually exclusive. You can still work towards what you want to like accomplish like on a daily basis, even if you have like a busy schedule. Like you can make time for that and do that kind of thing. And I think that's really cool that you're still just able to make the progress that you want to, perhaps. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of rambling a little bit now. I think I got my point across, and that's really gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like if you want to, and subscribe for more videos if you're interested. And with all of that being said, thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next one.